You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Happy to have you with me today. This is our second house call of the weekend. Excited to be able to give back, try to answer as many of our community's questions as possible. Hopefully you tuned in yesterday where we answered about 10 questions. I'm excited to be able to try to answer more and more each weekend because I know that we have more and more people writing in. So I want to keep up. I want to do my best to get to your questions. And again, always happy to give back, whether it's on mentorship, whether it's about certifications, whether it's about supplements or lab tests or whatever it might be. I mean, really, whatever it is, I'm happy to do my best. And as you heard yesterday, I'll sometimes refer out if I don't have the answer for you. I'll tell you where to find the answer. I'll always do that. If I don't have the answer, I'll tell you where to find the answer. Hopefully this will do well for you. Hopefully it will do well for your loved ones and that you'll be able to keep sharing this information and just paying it forward for whatever you learn, share it with someone else. That's literally all we ask, is that we just want you to share this information. It's not ours. It's not yours. It's meant here to serve the world. And I just think that we can do it. I think that we can. I think that we can affect the greater community at large when we learn something and we pass it on to others. So that's the goal. Super happy to have you with me here today and looking forward to answer more questions on this Cabral House Call. All right, let's get started. The first question is coming in today from Mia, M-I-A, wrote in on March 9th. I've been struggling with bad acne on my jawline and chin. I'm taking estroblock 2 times per day. I'm pretty healthy. Also, I'm 27 years old. I'm so tired 10 days before menstruation. So very tired, brain fog, and acne before my period. Do you suggest progesterone cream before my period? All right, Mia, we work with this all the time, or Maya. Here's what I recommend. Run your thyroid hormone adrenal panel. All right, run that lab test. I'll link it up at stephencabral.com/856. You will run that 7 days, 5 to 7 days before you get your period. It will tell you your ratio of estrogen to progesterone. That's what I recommend. We have a great product called Estrogen Balance that will help with the excessive estrogen. But yes, if your progesterone's low, you might use a progesterone cream or drops a few times, meaning like for 14 days before your cycle. We would tell you how to do that. But we don't like to do that as a long-term fix. It's just not. What we want to do is figure out why the low progesterone, because that's most likely what's going on is estrogen dominance. We just want to figure out, is it estrogen dominance because you have high cortisol? Is it estrogen dominance because of a metabolic issue with like low vitamin D or low thyroid or with insulin? And that's why you can run that with that thyroid adrenal hormone test. That's the way I'm telling you. It's my opinion, not to guess, test, you'll figure it out. So that's my answer. And hopefully you'll look into that. Next question is from Mark. Mark's writing in, hi, Dr. Cabral. Why don't you use the GI Map GI Microbial Assay plus stool test? I've heard it's the best parasite test for checking stool in the market because it uses DNA analysis. Would love your thoughts. All right. So the reason we don't use that is so keep in mind, as a functional medicine doctor who has a little bit of a voice that and loves to talk, that I get sent lab tests all the time. So companies want me to use their lab test and recommend their lab test because we don't have any of our own labs. We just recommend the best of the best. I've used that before. I don't have any problem with it. I think it's a great lab test. It's just not as great as the one that we use. That's my opinion. Again, they can change. You might see 6 months from now me using a different stool test. And guess what? It'll show up on our website, equilibriumnutrition.com. And that means, hey, that's outperformed the current test. I like the 3-day stool test that we use. And here's why. The first 2 days, they're doing the same analysis that every other lab does. They're checking for all parasites. They're checking for eggs and ova, and they're checking for different types of worms. They're also looking for H. pylori, which I think is important to look at. And they're looking for, they look for yeast, but that's not why we use that lab. They're looking for bacterial overgrowth as well, such as Klebsiella and E. coli that we see overgrown quite a bit. And it's a 3-day sample. And they're one of the few labs that actually has a human do the last day's sample. That means a human stains the cell or stains the sample and looks at it under a microscope to make sure they don't miss anything. So that's why I use ours. Again, I'll link it up in the show notes today. But you're welcome to use the one that you feel is best. I have no problem with that. I think it's great. Like every practitioner has their own favorite lab test and we're all after the same thing. I'm just telling you, these are ones that I've been using. And I always. So again, there's very popular hormone testing, estrogen testing, progesterone testing out there that a lot of practitioners are testing, and they're using the urine-based test. I won't name that test. They sent it to me. I tested it. I tested it on the same day as another sample, and I did not get the results I was looking for. Bottom line, I don't use it. That's it. A lot of other people like it. I just didn't get the results that I wanted. I spend my own money to double-blind test these, meaning like when I got the hair tissue mineral analysis test, here's what I did. I sent it my sample. I sent it my sample twice, the same exact day, the same exact time. I put it one under my name and one under a false name. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to make sure that both those samples, even though they said two different people's names, that I got the same exact result. And guess what? I got the same exact results. I do that with every lab test. I need to make sure that the lab that I'm using is exact, getting me the data that I want. Why? Because I then act on that data. So Mark, hopefully that answers your question. Nina is up next. Dr. Cabral, love your show. I was recently introduced to an Ayurvedic podcast where you were the speaker. What I love is how you mash up Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, other functional medicine into all areas of health. That's how it should be. I found so much wisdom in Ayurveda, and to address insomnia, doctors were pushing sleep meds, but I went holistic health. I've been able to incorporate healthy practices with my lifestyle. I'm curious on something. In Ayurveda, at least what I hear and read, seems to frown upon smoothies. They lower agni, hard to digest, etc. What's your take? I see you promote smoothies now and then. I would love to get so much nutrient-dense food in one meal. And then there's just a lot of other questions. I'll try to do my best to answer those without spending the whole podcast on those. All right, so yeah, a lot of people say that in Ayurveda, but that's simply not true. Ayurveda has no problem with smoothies. Believe it or not, when I was over in all of the Ayurvedic clinics, guess what people are eating? Bowls of fruits. Well, what's a smoothie? It's literally, it's fruit that's been blended up. Like it's the same exact thing. Why are they so big on fruit in Ayurveda? Well, it's cleansing, it's easy to digest, and it's loaded with nutrients. So you can go against Ayurveda in so many different things, but they're certainly not against smoothies. The only time they'd be against smoothies are if someone's in a really cold environment and you make a really cold smoothie. So how have we gotten around that? Well, here's why. You can add ginger to it, that's heating. And you can also just do what I do in the winter and don't drink your smoothie for 15 to 20 minutes. Let it warm up. Let it just warm up a little bit. That's all. Super simple. And then also, you can have a warm bowl of oatmeal on the side, which is what I do in the winter as well. That's Ayurvedic. Ayurvedic is very happy with that, especially with the vata-based body type. And those are essentially the only people who aren't going to want the cold during the winter. For the pitta-based body type, well, they'll want the cold, right? So there's simply never an all for one. And the reason why I recommend smoothies is because so many people are so exhausted, they can't break down 3 whole food meals a day. Way too exhausting, and they eat way too much animal-based protein, which also takes so much energy to break down and digest. So I've never seen anything work better, literally never seen anything work better than simply replacing your breakfast with a smoothie. And if you need it slower digesting, add more protein. We use our daily nutritional support. If it's not enough for you, add hemp hearts. Easy. Add a little bit more healthy fat. You might put in some pumpkin seeds. You might put in avocado if you're an avocado person. You might put in chia seeds or flax seeds. Choose what you want to make it slower digesting. We typically ask people to drink it over 60 to 90 minutes. So it's just time-release energy. Literally, I'm telling you right now, never have I never seen anything work better in my practice than that. Never. Like at all. I mean, do I own stock in smoothies? No. Like literally, I do not. So you could use whatever your favorite fruit is. You can do whatever you want. I literally give away a free smoothie guide. If you've never seen it before, simply go to any of the podcast pages. Like today's podcast page is stephencabral.com/856. Scroll to the bottom of all the links and you'll see a link to get the free smoothie report. That's it. So never seen anything work better. And I mean, you can use anybody's product in the world. Like that doesn't matter to me. But it's sometimes miraculous. That's it. I'm just going to put it that way. You're asking foods about gluten and organic non-GMO. I've answered these. You've asked it about oats. I answered that. Let's see, lower carb diets. I've talked about that. Cookware recommendations. I've talked about that. So again, you can go to stephencabral.com/podcast and simply type in all of these keywords. You can type in gluten-free. And literally this week, so this is funny. I answered actually a lot of these. go to stephencabral.com/852. And I talk about gluten-free on that. I talk about organic. I talk about why you need organic. I talk about which foods to eat organic, which ones, if you can't afford all organic, not to eat organic. And these are all questions that have also been answered in the Cabral support group. So one of the best ones is cookware. Go to cabralsupportgroup.com. This is a great thing. Use the search bar and literally type in cookware. You'll find the copper pans we recommend. You'll find the ceramic pans we recommend, the cast iron we recommend, like all the different types that you can use based on what you're looking to get into your body. So hopefully all these have been helpful, and thanks for writing in. Jessica's up next. Jessica's asking, hello, wonderful Dr. Cabral. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Jessica. My mom is about to turn 60. She's been battling sinus infections since I can remember, every winter and spring in particular. A lot of times she takes antibiotics and to help, and they do, although they keep telling her they're bad in the long run. She has seasonal allergies. She teaches elementary school. It's not well ventilated. She's been sick for weeks, taking inhalers, taking a steroid, which also seems to temporarily help. Okay, I can tell you exactly what's going on. I would have your mom run a thyroid adrenal hormone panel or simply the adrenal hormone panel, but I would do the thyroid if she can. It looks like your mom is not producing enough cortisol, which most likely is then correlating to not enough norepinephrine. So a couple things. The reason why the inhaler is working and the reason why the allergy meds are usually working is it contains something called pseudoephedrine or pseudoephedrine. And that's basically putting you into a state of fight or flight. It's actually giving you and promoting an adrenal response, a norepinephrine adrenaline-based response. So it's constricting the arteries. My goal is to get the body healthy. So most likely she's run down from years of teaching. She probably has some type of yeast fungal-based growth, bacterial overgrowth in the nasal passages. I would have her run an organic acids test. Those two labs in particular would be amazing. A hair tissue mineral analysis would also be amazing. We need to look at the root cause here. So she can do the neti pot. She can use our ear, nose, and throat, our healthy ear, nose, and throat protocol, which is the Nutribiotic nasal spray, the Nutribiotic throat spray, the neti pot. She can use our product called Hist Pro, HISTPRO. That's an amazing product. As part of our allergy protocol, I would use that with the alkalizing vitamin C. I would load up on that. So there's so much we can do. I would love to get her lab tested besides just using our allergy protocol, which is very helpful because she's going to have to change her nutrition. She's going to have to eliminate the dairy, eliminate the gluten, eliminate the main allergen so she can run an IgG food sensitivity test. Like if she's not someone who's going to change her diet without proof, then have her keep eating how she's eating and also run the food sensitivity test. I mean, ideally, she would run the Big 5 lab test. That's what we call them. So you can go to equilibriumnutrition.com, our brand new website. And literally, if you're listening to today, when the episode came out, we're doing 10% off for our grand opening. So that would be an enormous discount if she did that. So Jessica, I want to help your mom. I just know that we need more data. She's turning 60. There's 60 years of accumulated toxins. I would love to see what's going on with her body so that we can help. Just in the short term, use our allergy protocol, begin using a smoothie in the morning, and do a 7, 14, or 21-day Dr. Cabral detox just to clean out the system in the short term. And then, of course, the neti pot and the nasal spray are great. So that's what I recommend. All right. Sydney is asking, hello, I have a question regarding the Parasite protocol. In the information description, it says that the following one Parasite protocol wasn't enough to get body fully. Was this referring to cleanse as well? Should I order 2 of them or the cleanse long enough to ensure the body's rid of parasites? Okay. I don't actually know what Parasite protocol you're speaking about. If you are talking about ours, it comes with a full Parasite protocol instruction guide. We email that to you as a PDF and just to make it easy so that you have it. And it is enough. It's a 42-day protocol. We switch products after 3 weeks and very powerful. It's based on Ayurvedic as well as functional medicine. So you're just getting amazing products with that. Not only are you getting amazing products that most people use, like, okay, the black walnut, sure, like that's great. A lot of people use those cloves. But what you're getting is you're also getting the biofilm disruptors and the best of functional medicine. Plus, you're getting the exact way to use it for 42 days. And it should be enough to get rid of parasites. How do you know for sure? It should be enough. It's proven to get rid of parasites. But you can always run a stool test afterwards. And the stool test will tell you if you've gotten rid of all your parasites. Remember, we do before and afters quite a bit. And so we've shown that these things kill parasites. It's phenomenal. So for everybody to do a Parasite protocol once a year, probably a great thing. If you know you have parasites, definitely do it for sure. And so Sydney, no, ours contains everything you need. you know what I'm going to do is just go to stevencabral.com/856. I'm going to put our Parasite protocol link right in there so you can check it out. All right. Always remember, like if you're doing our Parasite protocol, just ask the question at cabralsupportgroup.com. We're there to support you. Like bottom line, we're there to help you make sure that you're successful. That's really what it's all about. Aubrey is up next. Aubrey is asking, I've been sick for months, it feels like. I've recently gone through a very stressful situation in my personal life, and I'm wondering if this could have triggered my poor health and immune system. Since Christmas, I've had the flu twice. A couple of weeks after, got hit with strep throat, ear infections, dealing with a nasty bug. Typically eat plant-based and very active, although being sick has made it harder. I have 2 little ones, 4 years old and 2 years old, who depend on me. I don't have much choice to push through things. I feel my body breaking down. My immune system's not holding up. Stressful life and situation. I'm wondering if the Candida protocol would be a good first step. I'm open to anything to help. I love your podcast, what you're doing. God bless. You're helping so many lives. Thank you for all you do. Aubrey, thank you very much. I apologize that you wrote in on March 11th, and I'm just getting to this now on June 9th. So I would love to get to you sooner, but again, time constraints. So here's the deal. I have actually a friend of mine who's going through a lot of this now, and it's because here's what happened. Switched jobs, switched careers, moved across the United States. Immune system's really beat up because of all the stress. And again, they might not even know the stress is there or not, but what you really have to do is you need to work on decreasing the stress. And if you can't do that during the day, you need to just get more sleep at night. You need to just say, okay, stressful day, I just have to shut it down. I need to get 9 hours of sleep, 10 hours of sleep, like whatever it is. Like literally, I know it's not a great thing, but when you put your kids to bed, you might be going to bed shortly after them. You do everything that a parent has to do, all the household-based things, get ready for school the next day or daycare or whatever it might be, and then just go to bed, wake up, and you have to get more sleep, okay? A sauna is going to help, but don't overdo it. Exercise, be careful not to overdo it. I would probably just do hatha yoga right now. I'd probably do something like Tai Chi, Qigong, meditation, and I would spend my time I would get like 10,000 steps a day, just not overdoing it. Remember, you have the rest of your life to do all of this. You don't need to overdo it now. Sure, the Candida protocol would be great, but first I would run the organic acids test to make sure you even need to do that. What I would do right now is I would use our Balanced Zinc, an incredible product, Balanced Zinc. I would use our vitamin C, alkalizing vitamin C. I would do 1 to 2 servings a day to boost the immune system. I would use the daily nutritional support once to twice a day, do 1 to 2 smoothies a day so you get everything your body needs. What else did I use? I would use digestive enzymes, the daily digestive enzyme with a meal. Why would I do that? So that you have to use less energy for digestion. So you get to keep more of that energy so that it can help your immune system. I would probably also do just one more thing, and that would be the healthy gut support, just to get more glutamine into your body to help repair and work with stress. I could give you so many more recommendations. I really could. But why don't we start there? Let's run the thyroid adrenal hormone panel, or even just the adrenal hormone panel, or the hair tissue mineral analysis. Meaning, like, try to run a lab or 2 with us so that I review your labs and I give you personalized recommendations on top of what I just said. So, Aubrey, hopefully that's helpful. Again, like, you've got a lot of people counting on you, but remember, we need to take care of you so that you're best for everyone else in your life. That's what the Cabral concept is all about. It's not about being selfish. You have to understand, the best thing that I could have done was get myself well, be a little bit selfish when I needed to take care of my body. And even at the same time, like when I'm run down, like sometimes I just have to say, I need to go to bed early tonight. And the reason is that I want to be the best father I can be for my 2 kids. I want to be the best husband I can be for my wife. I want to be the best doctor I can be in my practice, the best, essentially, team leader I can be for my team. And I can't do that if I'm exhausted or I let myself get run down. So sometimes I need to take a day off. Sometimes I need to say, okay, you know what? I just need to go to the gym. I need to do a little bit more self-care, get a massage, do a sauna. I need to do those things so that I can then serve others more. Like, we have to understand that. It's not being selfish. If you're a parent, if you're a husband, wife, if you're taking care of parents, like, you need a little bit of self-care time. Like, that's the bottom line. If you're better, I'm guaranteeing you can be better for others. All right? Little rant there, but it's the truth. All right, Anissa is up next. I'm the worst with names, so I just want to let you know that. It's my fault. I can't pronounce names. It's Nissa, Anissa or Anissa, probably Anissa. I don't know. She's asking, or he's asking, I need to figure out what is going on with my body. I have had my second outbreak of shingles on my face since January. I drank the mixture of ACV recommended, and my stomach is upset. Is there a lesser strength I can take and still get the recommended results? Okay, please go back and listen to my shingles episode. Go to stephencabral.com/shingles and then listen to my herpes episodes. All right. Here's the deal. I don't recommend ACV as the only thing. I just recommend it as one part of it. And you can use it as application only if you don't want to ingest it. And you could even start with a tiny amount, a small amount. Because I'm also recommending high loads of vitamin C. I'm recommending the maximum GSE. And I'm also recommending the L-lysine. Okay. So again, like these are products that I recommend. And you can't just use one of them. It's not going to be as beneficial. So that's to help shingles when you do have it and help the herpes virus when you do have it. Zinc, grapefruit seed extract, vitamin C, apple cider vinegar, L-lysine, like those are standard. You need to use those with herpes and you need to use those with all viruses in general. And shingles is one of those, right? So now let's look at shingles. Well, why does someone get shingles? Why do they get herpes outbreaks? Stress, low vitamin C, low B vitamins, stress. That's the bottom line, right? So what do we need to do? Figure out why you, my friend, are so stressed. We're all stressed, right? But why are you so stressed that we could get a shingles outbreak? So that is what we need to do some reflection on. What is not ideal in our life that's causing us stress? Family? Maybe. Relationships? Maybe. Our body? The way that we look at it, the way that we feel? Maybe. Our health, right? Our spirituality? It could be any one of those things. The Mindset and Motivation Mondays maybe help you able to kind of tease that out, to pull it out. But I would love for you to do some introspection to look at what's going on, because I don't want to help you with just the symptoms. I'm happy to do that. And I actually just named the products in the previous podcast that you can listen back on. But what I would rather do is I would always rather you look at the underlying root causes. Sometimes they're psychological based, and sometimes they're stress based because you have gut based issues and you need to run an organic acids test, a food sensitivity test, or a stool test to look at why the stress in the gut that's causing stress in the body that then may also be causing the herpes outbreaks or the shingles, right? Or look at the adrenal glands, the thyroid, like look at those as well. Those will give you underlying symptoms if you feel like life is great. Like if you're happy, life is great. Okay, well then look at the endogenous, the internal, the hidden forms of stress as well, which can be gut-based or neurological. So I don't mean to be disrespectful in any of my answers, but I always want to speak the truth. And that, in my opinion, from just having seen thousands of people, right? I've personally seen 30,000 appointments in my day, and my team and I I've overseen 250,000 appointments. Some of them weight loss and body transformation based, and some of them wellness and functional medicine and anti-aging based. And I can just tell you there's always a correlation, and typically that's what it is. So I want you to get the help that you deserve, because you do, and I want to make sure this doesn't happen in the future. So hopefully that was helpful. All right, I'm going to get to one more question. Holly's up next. Holly's asking, hi, Dr. Cabral. I just found your site and podcast a couple weeks ago and can't believe how awesome you are and all the interesting information is you provide. Thank you, Holly. Appreciate that. I really do. I'm 25. I'm struggling with acne and pitted rolling acne scars. I'm struggling with the scars and how to get rid of them, and I was wondering if you can help. So this is interesting. I actually I've done a bunch of different podcasts on acne scars, but you know what? Why don't I just refer you back to one show? I did a product review on a product that's specifically for acne scars. Let me see if I can find that. I know that when I'm under pressure, I can never find it, right? But it was definitely a Friday review, and I would love to be able to find it. I found it. Wow, this is rare. So it's episode 798, and it talks about acne scars. And I don't know if the company is still doing it, but you can certainly contact them for a discount code that they gave me when I said that I like your product. I would like to be able to introduce it to people. Could you give my audience a little bit of a discount? You know, I look out for my audience. I just want to make sure that my community is always taken care of. So again, you don't need to use their product. Like that's the bottom line. You don't need to use my products. Like I formulate for Equilibrium Nutrition. You don't need to use Equilibrium Nutrition, my formulas. But what you can look at is that when I talk about a product, you can understand why I'm recommending it, and then you can choose the right product for you. So check that out. It goes into microdermabrasion. It goes into micropoint needling. Check that episode out. Really, really helpful, I think, with banishing scars. So go to episode 798, stephencabral.com/798 for exact answer on that. Thank you to everyone who wrote in today. Thank you, of course, to everyone that's listening, that's subscribing to the Cabral concept, and that's leaving reviews on iTunes. It means so much to me. You don't even understand. Like, the podcast is my favorite thing to do. It honestly is. It never gets old. It never gets tired for me. I absolutely love it. I hope that you feel the same. And I'll be back tomorrow with another Motivation and Mindset Monday. Stay tuned. Take care. Have an amazing rest of the weekend. Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to stephencabral.com/resources.